I'm Geneva, and welcome to Purgatory with Eve. It has been a minute, so I think, and here's Vince. So I think I'll just introduce what I'm gonna do, I guess, and then get into like a little update. So this is a tapestry that I'm working on. It's actually the third time that I've worked on this tapestry. I made this is a custom order tapestry. I made it, shipped it out in this, got lost in the mail. Somebody else ordered a rat tapestry with just the 2 rats, put it in this, shipped it, got lost in the mail. So I have to remake that one too. So don't use those if you were a small business mailing your stuff. So this is the remake. And I am almost done with it. I just have to do the white border and then I'm gonna steam it. And so that's what I'm doing today, and I thought it would be a good chance to just make a little video about how I do like my tapestries, how I, get cleanish lines. I think my lines are pretty clean, but yeah, so here we go. Here's another one that's got some pretty clean lines. And here's the back, which I could have done neater, but it's fine. I like to do tapestries, and I'm just gonna do the border of this, and then we're just gonna catch up. It's been a while with Christmas, like, and so yeah, December and January are just like, those are just months that I just need a break, I guess. I'm just gonna like undo the last stitch and then do like a color change to start the border off, because I don't want to just, well, I mean, I guess I could just, I don't know, I'm just gonna do it. Well, if I can, if I didn't do it too tightly. Okay. It's actually been like such a long time since I've crocheted, because I've been knitting so much, but this needed to get finished, of course, and yeah. Oh man, I'm on the wrong side. I guess I'll go this way. So well, actually, considering I don't really have anything to talk about, I guess I'll just I'll work on this. And then in the meantime, you guys can see the stuff that I've recorded on how I float my yarn in the back, and how I do my color changes. So thanks for tuning in. And yeah, go yeah, I'll play the clip. Roll the clip. Roll the tape. Yeah. So the first thing that I'm going to be talking about, I think I have like 3 tips. I don't know. I didn't plan this out very well. But the first demonstration that we're going to see is carrying the yarn, which is coming up. I try not to carry more than 4 stitches over. So as you can see, I'm taking my needle, my hook, I'm looping the yarn that I'm carrying, which is the white yarn. I don't need it yet. I'm just looping it over the needle, going into the next stitch, catching or attempting to catch the working yarn, and then I'm continuing with my single crochet as I typically would. And this loops the white yarn, our second yarn, into that stitch without showing it on the front. So this is how I carry. Like I said, I wouldn't do it over like 4 stitches. So if I'm really pushing it and I forget and I don't want to frog it, I will do 5 or 6, but I think 4 is a good, neat number. So here's one more example of how I carry my yarn and what it looks like from the back. Grab the yarn that you want to carry, and you can either press it against the fabric or just drape it over your hook. You want to go into your next stitch as normal and then just complete the stitch as normal. And as you can see, it kind of gets caught in that second loop that you pull up, but it does not show from the front, as we've already, kind of discussed. So yeah, and I will show this from working on the front side as well. And so tip number 2, which is just a simple color change, which I think everybody pretty much knows, but just in case you don't, I'm here to show you. I am not finishing this stitch. I'm going to cross them, and the only reason I do this is because I think it helps keep my tension even. I'm going to cross these and finish up this single crochet with the color that I want to use next for the next stitch, and just pull through like normal. You want to be careful and make sure the next stitch you're going into is the next one. Sometimes, like when I was first starting, it could get a little confusing, and I would have like extra or have skipped a stitch, but yeah, then you just continue on stitching. So here's one last recording of catching a float from the back side of the work. I'm just picking up the second yarn, draping it over my hook, or trying to, and it's literally just draping it over my hook, and then going into the stitch as I normally would, pulling through and pulling through. I will say it's very helpful if you stretch your work periodically after catching floats so that your tension is good, so you get that nice drapey tapestry look, and it's not going to be like cinched up because it's pulling in the back. And here is just one more color change from the back side of the work, where I started the stitch, and before I did my last yarn over pull through, I just switched the colors, and now I'm gonna continue crocheting and doing my single crochet as usual with my new color. I dropped the other one, but of course I'm gonna pick it back up or carry it within the next 4 stitches. So I'm just gonna finish the rest of this row. Here is another example of carrying, not slowed down, and you can see that it should slide loosely, and I want to try to keep it loose so that the tapestry isn't bunched up, but I will pop back in when we're on the right side of the work. Okay, so we are back on the front side of the work. I am doing my regular single crochets in the dark gray color, and for this next one I'm going to continue with my stitch as usual, as per usual. Go in, pull through, and then I stop there. So like I mentioned earlier, I kind of like twist my work a little bit, or not the work, I kind of twist the two strands just to keep my tension even. These two I don't really have to twist, but as you can see, I put the other one in my hand, so I'm still holding on to the dark gray while I get my white ready to pull through, so that I can keep the tension nice and even and those loops that are on my hook don't get too loose and wobbly. And you can even give it a little tug if it is too loose, but you also don't want to make it too tight because that'll mess up tension too. Just like, somewhere in the middle. And then we pull through with our new color and then just continue on stitching until we do it again. So I'm going to color change one more time, and then we will see an example of step number 3, which is crocheting into the back loops. When I'm having a dark color like this or a contrasting color, I crochet into the back loop because crocheting into both loops will distort it for me, and I will show you examples of this as the piece is finished. There's some that I didn't crochet in through the back loop, but it's just as simple as it sounds. We're going through the back loop, and when we're on the wrong side, we're going into the front loop. Wait. Yes, the front loop that is facing us, the one that's closest to us. So the same one that we would be going into if we were working on the right side, which is considered the back loop. And as you can see, this is a long float. This is as long as I would go. I think that's like on the sixth stitch there. So crocheting into the back loop gives a cleaner look in my opinion. I feel like it makes it easier to stack. And so it's like it stacks the stitches up vertically better. So a helpful tip that I find is looking at the top of the work and then just, you know, putting your hook down into that top back loop, as you can see right here. And like there's gonna be some examples. I personally just think it makes it look a little bit cleaner, and instead of going through both loops and then creating that V where you can still see a peak of the color below it, the back loop eliminates that from happening, in my opinion. So here is my attempt to demonstrate what the difference can be when you crochet into the back loop versus when you're crocheting into both. So after this group of dark stitches, you'll see that I crochet first into both stitches, and I personally think that it looks choppier. I don't know if that makes sense. I think that when you crochet into the back loop, it smooths the transition a little bit better, and it makes the color blocks stack a little bit better as well. So that's why tip number 3 is to crochet in the back loops when you are going over with a different color. So I'm going to show you guys the difference between what it looks like when you crochet through the back loop versus the front loop. This one on the left is through the back loop. Sorry, my hand is everywhere. These two in the middle are through the front loop. So as you can see, the difference is a little bit cleaner with the back loop. It's more condensed and like just less, I feel like glitchy, I feel like is what it looks like on these two. And so you can see, and my tension was a little bit loose right here. So I went into the back loop when I was doing my gray stitch. So as you can see, when you crochet, you go and make a V. When you go through the stitch and pull up a loop, you're creating that V. So when doing it through the back loop, that V is a little bit more hidden. So with those two in the middle, and then I did through the both loops, and then with this one on the end here, I did it through the back loop as well. I guess I just skipped a white stitch, so I'm gonna go back and fix that once it's done. But hopefully this explanation cleared something up. Just try it. I suggest you try it, and you'll be able to see for yourself. And I'm just going to weave in the ends and finish this bad boy up. I'm gonna steam it to block it, get those stitches relaxed, the fibers relaxed, and hang it to dry, and off to the mail tomorrow, I guess. So enjoy me weaving in the ends. So overall, I like the way that it turned out. There's just a few spots that I'm gonna touch up with some of the scrap yarn, and so I think I'm gonna touch up right here because this connection is pretty thin. I'm gonna touch up right here, maybe right here, right here, and then right here so that this is more closed off. So, and then maybe right here. And yeah, so I'm just gonna take some scrap yarn and get to it. So that took about 5 minutes, and here's the finished product. Oh, I still have to cut the ends, but that took well, I just said that took 5 minutes. And as you'll notice, like, some of the spots are more clear. His eye's a little small, but I think that's okay. Tails are connected, and so now I'm just going to steam it, cut off the little adjustments that I did, and let it dry, and this bad boy is going off tomorrow. So while I was doing that, my steamer was heating up, so oops, and I'm just going to clip it. And so it's been steamed. It's got some nice drape to it. And these are the loops I added for hanging. And here's the final back. Yeah, look at that drape. And this is Lion Brand's the cottony one, which is 60% cotton, 40% acrylic, I believe. That's it for this video, I suppose. Thank you guys for watching. I love it. And this is the second one I've made. So I swear to God, hopefully this one doesn't get lost in the mail, or I'm just gonna lose it. And I'll probably just shut down my business forever. But yeah, any small businesses out there, just don't use tube mailers, because it'll get lost. It'll roll away, apparently. But yeah, Please subscribe if you want. Feel free to like and comment. If you comment, that would really make my day, because I like to know when, like, I like acknowledgement, you know? So, yeah. And have a good night. Bye.